prayer mattered to Jesus. Here in the first chapter of the Gospel of Mark, we find Jesus getting up very early in the morning, well before anyone else, well before breakfast, and going off to a private place in order to pray. He's about to launch his Galilean ministry. And what he does in preparation for launching that ministry is go apart and pray. If you peruse the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, you will discover rather quickly that Jesus prayed frequently and he prayed fervently. There were the occasions when he pulled apart from the crowd in order to go to the mountainside or across so he could pray for strength for the task that lie ahead. There were the occasions when he prayed for wisdom for key decisions that he had to make, such as when he was choosing the 12 disciples and prayed all night long. There were the moments of honest anguish, such as the Garden of Gethsemane. But it's very clear from the Gospels that Jesus prayed frequently and he prayed fervently. Now, one of the most poignant scenes in the prayer life of Jesus is found in the 17th chapter of the Gospel of John, wherein Jesus prays for the disciples. He knows his time is short. He knows persecution awaits them. He knows they're going to have a rough time. He knows they're going to need special help. He knows they're going to need God's help. And so he prays for his disciples. John records this. Jesus said, I pray for them. I pray, Holy Father, that you protect them by the power of your name, that you protect them from the evil one, and that you sanctify them in the truth. Look in on the 17th chapter of the Gospel of John, and you find this poignant scene again where Jesus prays for the people who are dearest to him. And don't you know that when he told them that he had prayed for them, that those were the most encouraging words they could ever hear? Then he would have said, Peter, James, John, Bartholomew, Matthew, Andrew, on the list goes. I prayed for you today. And I am praying for you. And that when he told them that, again, he was speaking some of the most encouraging words they would ever hear. And so when you and I tell someone we're praying for them, we are speaking to them some of the most encouraging words they will ever hear. Having a hard time? I'm praying for you. Facing a real illness? Friend, I'm praying for you. Got a tough decision to make? Listen, I'm praying for you. You know, we call that intercessory prayer. Interceding for others before the throne of God for the help, the wisdom, the strength, or the healing that they need. Intercessory prayer. Now, there's not a one of us in this sanctuary, preachers included, who would ever say that intercessory prayer guarantees that what we pray for is going to happen in the life of that person. There is no such guarantee. You know that. When we intercede for other people, there is no promise whatsoever that what we pray specifically is what is going to happen, because in the end, it's in God's hands. Let me tell you this. Intercessory prayer always makes a difference. Whether or not that for which you pray comes to being in the life of another person, you and I need to understand intercessory prayer always makes a difference. And the reason is this. I believe intercessory prayer is like a spiritual current that goes from us to the person for whom we're praying. It's like the electrical current that goes from point A to point B and has impact. So when we pray for another person, there is a spiritual current that goes from us to that other person. I believe that. I literally believe that God takes our love, our empathy, our concern, our caring, our hope, and transplants it into the life, the heart, mind, and spirit of the other person. Now, you think about that. That if God takes your love, your empathy, your concern, your compassion, your hope, and transplants it into the heart, mind, and spirit of the other person, whether or not the prayer you pray is specifically answered, a difference has been made in the life of that person. Love, empathy, concern, caring, hope, transplanted by God into the heart, mind, and spirit of that other person. That means that when you and I don't pray for someone else, we're withholding that which they need. Now, you and I have a very special opportunity in the coming weeks and months with intercessory prayer. This is Senior Sunday, as you so well know by now. And if you've not picked up the brochure that's in the narthex outside the doors of the church, pick one up. And you'll see the names and faces and a brief description of the story of 24 of our graduating seniors. Want to give them a gift? Want to know the best gift you can give these 24 seniors? You can pray for them. Because this week I'm going to take that brochure and I'm going to pray for every single one of those 24 seniors by name and by face throughout the week. And I am going to continue to do that for the many weeks to come. Because they're entering new vistas in their life. And those vistas are going to have wonderful opportunities, but they're also going to have great challenges. And we know that, and they know that. There is no greater gift this congregation can give the 24 graduating seniors of Germantown United Methodist Church than that you hold them up before God personally by name and face weekly for weeks to come. And to believe with all your heart that God is going to transplant what you pray into their lives. Now listen, when hundreds of people pray for 24 seniors, their lives are going to be transformed. I invite you, in the spirit of the praying Jesus, the one who so passionately prayed for his disciples, to pray for the ones we love. And especially in the days, weeks, and months ahead, to pray personally for each and every one of our seniors. Thanks be to God.